You have been told, perhaps gently and perhaps with venom, that you were too small, too soft, too wild, too loud, too quiet, too much, or not nearly enough, that you must shrink to fit the margins of someone else's comfort, that your truth is too sharp a mirror for those who have forgotten how to look at themselves. But I say to you now, my dear, rise. Rise with the sun in your spirit and the thunder in your walk. Rise with the knowing that you are no accident, that your feet are not stumbling upon this earth by chance. You are purpose in motion, a breath given shape, a soul sculpted by time and trauma and triumph alike. And if ever there were a spell to cast against the scourge of disrespect, it is this: know who you are, and refuse to apologize for it. Not in whispers, not in cracked apologies, not in sideways glances or restless silences. You must learn to stand so firm in the temple of your own being that even the wind learns to bow in reverence. You must build a home inside your name, a fortress made of truth, with walls held by integrity and the light of yourself, worth burning forever in the windows. When you walk into a room, carry your history with you, not as a burden, but as a banner. Let them see the ancestors walking with you. Let them hear your grandmother's laughter in the cadence of your voice. Let them feel the ground tremble with the footsteps of every lesson you've survived. That is power, that is legacy. Do not let the world convince you to be digestible. You were never meant to be swallowed whole and forgotten. You were born to be tasted, fully, richly, like dark honey on a silver spoon, too divine to waste and too rare to replicate. There will be those who try to reduce you, to take your light and stuff it into a jar labeled acceptable. But you must never let them. Shine anyhow. They will call it arrogance. Let them. They will say you are too proud. Let them. They will try to teach you shame. You must not learn it, because you, beautiful soul, were not created to be palatable. You were not carved from stuff to be anyone's afterthought. No, you are the center of your own story. And when you walk with that knowing, when your back is straight and your eyes are steady, and your yes means yes and your no means no, no one, and I mean no one, will ever disrespect you again. Not because they cannot try. Not because the world suddenly turns kind, but because your spirit will reject it. Your essence will recoil. You will speak a language of self, worth so ancient and so clear that even the blind will see it. You will become unshakable, and those who come with their shadows will find no purchase in your light. But let me be honest with you, child. It is not always easy. Oh, no. The path of the self, paz est, is lined with mirrors, and you must look into every one. There will be days you will doubt, days when your voice feels too small for the storms around you, days when disrespect comes cloaked in love, when cruelty wears the mask of care, and you must still rise. Because respect begins with you. You cannot demand from others what you have not given to yourself. Speak kindly to your own reflection. Hold your hands like holy things. Do not curse yourself when the world gets heavy. Instead sing, instead dance, instead say, even now I am worthy, even now I am divine. That, my darling, is how you armor your soul. Disrespect cannot dwell in a house of reverence. And when your very being becomes a sanctuary, when your words echo with purpose and your silence drips with power, those who come to harm you will be turned away by the sheer immensity of your grace. Let them talk. Let them whisper behind their teeth and call your confidence a threat. Let them find your silence unnerving and your laughter too loud for the confines of their comfort. You were not placed on this spinning earth to tiptoe. You were made to thunder, to break the ground if you must, to speak when silence is betrayal, to hold your head so high that the stars feel a little less lonely. You must own your dignity like a birthright. Protect your peace like a kingdom, and when someone reaches for your crown with careless hands, you do not shrink. You do not beg. You remind them, gently but with steel, that your worth is not up for debate. And hear me, it is not cruelty to protect yourself. It is not unkind to say, no, I will not be spoken to that way. It is not selfish to remove yourself from places where your spirit is suffocating. Self-respect is not arrogance. It is oxygen, and you deserve to breathe. I have seen people beg for crumbs of approval, seen kings and queens with bowed heads, hoping someone would call them beautiful, talented, smart enough. But you must not wait for anyone to name you. Name yourself glorious, name yourself powerful, name yourself a miracle in motion, and believe it with the same certainty that rivers run to oceans. That the sun returns each day, that what you carry inside you is more than enough. People will test you, they will measure you by their own emptiness. They will throw daggers of doubt and wait to see if you bleed self-loathing. But you must not grant them that satisfaction. Hold your center, bless your bones. Stand in the fullness of your being like a tree rooted in sacred soil, and do not confuse kindness with permission. You can be soft without being stepped on. You can be generous without being taken. You can love without losing yourself in the folds of someone else's hunger. Boundaries are not barriers. They are the shape of your soul saying, "This is where I begin, and that is holy ground." Respect yourself so fiercely, so tenderly, so unapologetically that others must match your energy or leave your presence. That is the way, that is the lesson, that is the protection, that is the call to your higher self. You are not here to be tolerated, you are here to be celebrated, and if they do not see your worth, bless them and keep walking, because the truth is, your glow is not for everyone, but for those with eyes to see and hearts to feel it will be undeniable. Let your life be the sermon. Let your walk teach them how to treat you. Let your posture say, "I know who I am." Let your stillness scream, "I will not be moved." Because when you rise like this, when you believe like this, when you walk like this, disrespect has no space to land. It will wither in the face of your unwavering presence. It will retreat in the light of your unbending truth, and you, my love, will keep rising. Even when they come for your softness, you will keep rising. Even when they try to shame your light, you will keep rising. Even when the world hands you silence, you will keep rising and roaring and naming yourself again and again and again until the universe itself echoes your truth. Yes, beloved, I shall continue. Let the river of truth keep flowing. There is a strength in you that terrifies those who have only ever lived in the shallows. There is a depth in your gaze that makes liars tremble and pretenders flee. And not because you seek to harm, not because your hands are weapons or your tongue is cruel, but because you carry something unshakable, something ancient, something holy. You see, when a soul finally remembers its own name, the world must adjust its tone. You do not beg for space, you take it gracefully. You do not plead for kindness, you embody it. And those who cannot rise to your level will try to bring you down to theirs. That's their way. That's the call of the weak, the rhythm of the insecure. But you who have touched the hem of your own becoming, you know better now. You are no longer here to explain your worth to people who benefit from misunderstanding you. You are no longer tasked with making yourself smaller to fit inside the boxes of someone else's limited thinking. Let them misunderstand, let them assume, let them gossip behind veils of ignorance. You, however, have work to do. You have mountains to move with your words, oceans to part with your courage, and legacies to weave with every breath. You do not need the approval of those who cannot even approve of themselves. Listen to me, my sweet soul. Your power is not in your fists, though they be strong. It is not in your voice, though it rings like thunder. It is not even in your mind, though it holds galaxies of knowing. No, your true power is in your alignment, when who you are, what you say, and how you live all speak the same truth. That is when the world stops to listen. And let me tell you, the ones who love you in truth, the ones who honor you not just when you're easy to love, but when you are heavy with sorrow or loud with truth or draped in fire, They will not be threatened by your strength. They will rise with you. They will stand beside you. They will not ask you to dim, to tone down, to be easier. They will meet you in your full, unapologetic radiance. But the ones who flinch at your boundaries, the ones who frown when you shine, they are not your people, and that's all right. You were not meant for everyone. You were meant for the ones who see you and don't look away. You were meant for those who call your name not with demand but with reverence. So do not twist yourself into contortions just to be tolerated. You are not a shadow. You are not a secret. You are not a supporting character in someone else's play. You are the story, beloved. You are the poem. You are the wild and holy text that refuses to be erased. And when disrespect tries to dress itself in silk, when it comes smiling, cloaked in charm or sweet words that taste like poison, you will know. Because now you are awake, now you are wise, now you are rooted so deep in your own spirit that you can feel when something is wrong, even when it looks right. Trust that. Your intuition is not a suggestion. It is your compass, your inner guide. It is the whisper of your ancestors saying, "We did not survive all we did for you to settle." You must remember, always remember, that people treat you the way you teach them to. If you let the world walk on your back, they will never wonder how you got so low. If you let them speak your name with contempt, they will forget it ever deserved respect. So speak up. Even when your voice shakes, speak. Even when you are afraid, stand. Even when they say, "Why are you making such a big deal?" Look them in the eye and say, "Because I matter." Because you do, and no one, not lover, not boss, not friend, not stranger, gets to touch your peace without permission. No one gets to talk to you in ways you would not talk to yourself. No one gets to shape yourself, view with their broken lens. You must be the guardian of your joy. You must be the keeper of your own fire. And when someone comes with wet hands trying to douse your flame, you must say, "Not here, not anymore." There is such beauty in saying no without explaining, such freedom in walking away without guilt, such liberation in protecting your spirit from those who do not know how to handle gold without tarnishing it. But you must first believe you are gold. You must believe you are the sun itself, not some borrowed reflection. You must know in the marrow of your bones that your presence is a gift, that your laughter is music, that your pain does not disqualify you, it refines you. And yes, there will be people who leave when you start respecting yourself. Let them, not everyone is meant to stay. Some are only sent to teach you what you will never again accept. And once you've learned the lesson, don't sign up for the class again. Life is too short and too sacred to waste on repetition that leads to ruin. I have seen whole nations rise from women and men who decided to love themselves. I have seen generations changed because one person said enough, and that one could be you. You don't need an army. You don't need a platform. You don't even need applause. All you need is your truth and the courage to live it out loud. So wear your dignity like armor. Let it shine in your walk. Let it echo in your words. Let it pulse in your stillness, and those who try to trespass will be stopped not by your anger, but by your sacredness. People cannot disrespect what they revere. Make your name synonymous with integrity. Make your energy so sacred, so intentional, so radiant, that anyone who tries to bring harm will feel the resistance of 1,000 unseen forces. Let your silence speak louder than empty noise. Let your peace be disruptive. Let your love be so full that it overflows but never empties you, because self-respect is not a moment. It's a movement. It's a decision you make every morning when you rise. It's the way you feed yourself, the way you talk to your reflection, the way you choose joy even when sorrow sings. It's in how you rest, how you walk away, how you begin again. It's in how you teach your children what it looks like to say, "I am enough as I am." That's the revolution. That's the change. That's the shield that turns away disrespect at the door. And when they ask you, "Why are you so confident now?" Why don't you tolerate what you used to? Why do you walk like the ground belongs to you? Smile, child. Smile with all the stars in your teeth and say, because I remembered who I was, and I decided to never forget again. Ah, yes. Let us continue. Let the wind carry this song of self, worth even further now. Let it ride the rhythm of generations unbroken, undiminished. Let it pour like an offering upon the ears of those who have ever been made to feel less. Let us keep going, because you, dear soul, are not done rising. There are those who will call your grace arrogance. They will see your peace and name it pride. That is the curse of the insecure, to misname what they do not understand. But you must not respond in kind. You must not lower your voice or hunch your shoulders or shrink your joy just to make them comfortable. You have outgrown the cage, you have burst the seams, and now your spirit is stretching out its limbs again, hungry for light. Stay hungry, stay awake to your own beauty, stay awake to the miracle of your own becoming. Do not slip back into silence, not now, not after all this growing. You have paid in sleepless nights and prayers whispered into your pillow. You have sacrificed versions of yourself to become who you are now. Don't abandon her for the comfort of those who fear the fire in you. Your boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity. Your voice is not aggression. It is authority. Your standards are not too high. They are the height of your healing. You earned them. You built them with the bricks of betrayal and the mortar of disappointment. You have every right to protect the peace you carved with your bare hands. You are not obligated to stay where you are disrespected. You are not bound to people who only love you when you're quiet. You are not indebted to the ones who only celebrated you when you made yourself small enough to carry. Let them go, not with hatred, not with fury, but with the grace of someone who finally knows their worth. Wish them well and close the door gently, then turn back toward yourself, toward the life you are crafting, toward the laughter that is beginning to rise again from somewhere deep in your chest, because you, my love, are no longer chasing approval. You are no longer walking into rooms hoping to be chosen. You are the choosing now. You are the root and the branch. You are the center from which all things bloom. And when you stand firm in that knowing, disrespect cannot linger. It will recoil from you. It will find no home in your presence. There is a way you will walk after you have remembered who you are that will shake the ground beneath you, not because you wish to dominate, no, but because your very being will carry the echoes of every time you chose to rise, every time you forgave yourself, every time you said, "This ends with me." And that kind of strength cannot be faked. That kind of strength cannot be performed. It must be lived. It must be suffered for, then sung about. It must be woven into every breath. That is what you are becoming now, a song of survival, a prayer in motion, a testimony dressed in flesh. And yes, there will still be those who try to test you. That's the nature of the world. Some people confuse presence with permission, but you now are fluent in the language of your own spirit. You no longer speak from wounds. You speak from wisdom. You no longer react from fear. You respond from power. And when someone crosses a line, you no longer feel guilty for building the wall that should have always been there. That, my dear, is how you keep your soul intact in a world that profits from your fragmentation. They taught you that to be loved you had to be pleasing. They told you that to be accepted you had to be agreeable. But the truth, the real truth, you are not here to perform. You are not here to bend yourself into palatable pieces. You are not here to make everyone else feel taller by shrinking your own spine. You are here to be whole, fully, fiercely, fearlessly, even when your wholeness offends those who are still living in pieces. And still I will remind you, kindness is not weakness, gentleness is not surrender. You can wear your compassion like silk and still move like a lion. You can forgive without forgetting who you are. You can be soft and still set fire to every lie that ever told you you weren't enough. There is no one on this earth who gets to rewrite the story of who you are. That story belongs to you. You are the ink and the parchment. You are the pen and the pulse. You are the narrator and the heroine, and the one who refuses to go silent when the world tries to cut you from your own pages. So let them stare, let them talk, let them misinterpret your power for rebellion. You were never made to fit quietly into systems that benefit from your silence. Let them say what they will. You, meanwhile, have a spirit to tend to, a voice to sharpen, a future to build. Let their noise pass through you like wind through a canyon, heard but never held. Your work is not to be liked by all. Your work is to live in such truth that even your enemies must respect you. And if they cannot, if their spirits are too brittle, too tangled, too afraid, then their disrespect becomes a reflection, not of your worth, but of their own unhealed places. Keep going, keep choosing yourself. Every time you say no to disrespect, you are saying yes to your healing. Every time you remove yourself from toxic love, you are drawing closer to sacred love. Every time you speak with courage instead of staying silent in the face of wrong, you are teaching the universe that you are ready to receive in full. Because you see, this life is always listening. It listens when you tolerate less than you deserve. It listens when you rise after being torn down. It listens when you finally decide that your joy is not negotiable. And once you move in the rhythm of that knowing, once your actions and your energy match your intentions, then all of creation begins to conspire in your favor. Doors open, peace expands, respect follows not as a demand, but as a natural consequence of how you carry yourself. So laugh louder now, stand taller, say what you mean and mean what you say. Take up the space that was always yours. And when people call it too much, smile like you've just remembered your own divinity, because you have, and that remembrance, that sacred reclaiming of your voice, your value, your vision, that is the very thing that makes you untouchable to the forces that once preyed on your insecurity. This is not about revenge. This is not about making others pay. This is about honoring your own spirit so completely that you no longer confuse pain with love, that you no longer mistake criticism for wisdom, that you no longer believe your softness must come at the cost of your safety. You are not a mirror for other people's projections. You are not a sponge for their venom. You are a fire, a light, a language that only those who have learned to love themselves can truly understand. So walk on with grace. Walk on with your head held like a mountain, your breath like a hymn. Walk on, not because you seek to be above others, but because you finally realize you are no longer beneath anyone. You are no longer available for disrespect. Not in your home, not in your friendships, not in your work, not in your relationships, not even in your own thoughts. Your name is a song, and your presence is a sanctuary. Let anyone who enters do so with reverence, or not at all. You have risen too many times to fall now, and the world has no choice but to rise to meet you. Yes, child, we are not done yet. The soul has more to say. There is still breathe in this truth, and the river has not yet met the sea. So come, lean in once more, and let the words wrap around you like the arms of an ancestor who never stopped watching over you. You must understand that your very existence is defiance to those who benefit from your silence. And I do not mean the dramatic kind of defiance that rages and roars without aim. I speak of the holy rebellion that occurs when you wake up every morning and choose to honor your spirit, to nourish your mind, to protect your joy like sacred ground. That is the kind of power that shakes the earth without ever raising a voice. You do not need to be loud to be mighty. You do not need to explain your boundaries for them to be valid. You do not need to justify the peace you've chosen simply because others have learned to survive in chaos. Your clarity may confuse them yourself. Worth may offend them. Your refusal to bend may unsettle them. But none of that is your burden to carry. You were not placed on this earth to make everyone else comfortable while you suffer in silence. Too many have walked through life bowed down by shame, carrying the heavy load of almosts and not quites. Too many have learned to say yes out of fear rather than joy. Too many have been taught that respect must be earned with sacrifice, that love must be purchased with pain. But those lies do not belong to you. You were born with value. You were born with worth. You were born with dignity stitched into the very fabric of your being, and no act of this world can unmake what the universe made holy. So straighten your spine. Do not let this world turn your posture into apology. Do not let rejection become the lens through which you see yourself. There are people who will leave not because you are unworthy, but because your light revealed what they were unwilling to face in themselves. There are people who will mock what they do not understand, who will try to label your power as arrogance, your discernment as coldness, your truth as rebellion. Let them walk away, let them speak. You will be too much for some, but you will be just enough for the right ones, and the right ones will never ask you to tone it down. They will never punish you for your honesty. They will never recoil from your strength. They will meet you there in that holy place of mutual reverence where love is not a battlefield but a garden. Now listen to this closely. When you begin to carry yourself like someone who knows their value, the world shifts. It cannot help but respond because energy never lies. You can wear the right clothes, speak the right words, even smile at the right time. But if your spirit is still seeking permission to exist, the world will know. And it will treat you accordingly. So begin within. Begin where the roots grow. Begin with the quiet decision that you are no longer available for harm, no longer available for confusion disguised as affection, no longer available for half-truths, half-loves, half-lived lives. You are not a halfway kind of being. You were never meant to settle for crumbs when your spirit knows the feast. People who disrespect you are not reacting to who you are. They are reacting to the parts of you they cannot control. Your boundaries are barricades to those who once fed on your openness. Your healing is a mirror to those who chose to remain broken. And your wholeness, oh, your wholeness is a threat to anyone who built a version of you that served their comfort. Shatter that version. Let her fall to pieces. Let him crumble and collapse. And from those fragments, rebuild yourself with intention. Rebuild yourself with love. Rebuild yourself not as an echo of others' expectations, but as the truest, boldest, freest version of your soul. The one that existed before the world told you who to be. The one that dances without shame, that speaks without trembling, that walks into rooms not to be seen, but to see and to witness. Now, if they do not know how to approach you with care, let them keep walking. If they do not know how to speak your name with honor, let them learn from a distance. If they do not know how to hold space for your truth without trying to shrink it, let them find another space. This is not arrogance. This is not ego. This is alignment. This is the echo of every ancestor who survived so that you might live full. This is the vibration of every prayer whispered in the dark by people who dared to believe that one day someone in their bloodline would break the chains. That someone is you, and yes, there will be days when it's hard, days when the world pushes against your resolve, days when people you once loved try to return not because they've changed, but because they hope you haven't. But you will not return to old versions of yourself just to keep familiar company. You will not lower your standards for the sake of nostalgia. You will not entertain disrespect out of loneliness. You know better now. And when you know better, you live better. You do not need to yell to be heard. You do not need to fight to prove your worth. You do not need to carry everyone with you. Some people were only meant to walk beside you for a season. And when that season ends, release them like autumn leaves caught in a holy wind. Bless them, forgive them, let them go, and keep walking, barefoot if you must, but always forward, because the life ahead of you is too sacred to be sacrificed at the altar of people pleasing. The dreams rising within you are too grand to be traded for proximity to those who never believed in your magic. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to be powerful. And power does not look like domination. It looks like compassion rooted in conviction. It looks like kindness anchored in boundaries. It looks like joy that does not apologize, peace that does not ask for permission, and love that begins within and flows outward like a song. So let them say you've changed. Let them call you distant or difficult. Let them whisper that you've become someone new, because you have risen, you have remembered, and now you will not be bent by their confusion. You will not be bowed by their disappointment. You will not be broken by their inability to see what you see. This is your time. This is your season. And those who cannot meet you in this new place are not enemies. They are simply no longer part of the journey. Release them with grace, but never dim your light to make them stay. You are not just becoming. You are being, and your being is enough. Your being is beautiful. Your being is unshakable. Let it stand, let it sing, let it stretch into every corner of your life. Because when you live like that, when you move like someone who remembers their holiness, their brilliance, their worth, the world either rises to meet you or it moves out of your way. But it never again dares to disrespect you. Yes, beloved, let us bring this journey to its resting place. Let these final words gather like dew upon your spirit and settle in the soft soil of your becoming. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are not here to bend, to break, to barter for dignity. You are here to be whole, to stand not in defiance, but in divine remembrance of who you've always been. And when you do, when you carry yourself like a soul who knows the cost of peace, the value of truth, and the sacredness of self, then the world must either honor you or remove itself from your path. Do this, and no one will ever disrespect you again, not because they are incapable, but because your spirit will no longer allow them access. And that, child, is the power of walking in the fullness of your name, your voice, your light. Now go on, walk as the prayer you are.